Miss, stop! I'll take a second car. She's walking away from me now. Stand there.
Please don't taser her.
Stand there.
Don't taser her.
Stand there.
Please don't taser her.
Okay, I won't.
Okay,
Stand there.
Nice, please, okay?
Stand there.
She's not.
Stand there.
She then began sprinting away after being told to stop multiple times.
Stop right now! Stop!
Roll over on your stomach.
Put your hands behind your back.
My hair, please stop.
Put your hands behind your back.
I won't cooperate. Please stop.
Do it now.
I can't breathe.
Put your hands behind your back right now.
Please. My hair is in my
Okay.
Please.
Put your other hand behind your back.
If you're there should be a male over by the
Put your other hand behind your back right now.
I can't like this. Please stop. Okay, roll on your stomach. Move your leg over. Please, I can't breathe. Hey, step it. Ben, step it.
Far, let's get her.
Ow!
Listen, turn over to me. Turn over.
Stop!
Turn over.
Ow! Put your arm behind your back.
Cuff her. And stop fighting.
I'm fucking trying, dude.
But you are trying. Now, roll over on your side so you can breathe. Reach your house. Roll over on your side.
Please, no! Roll on your side. I can't. Okay, well, I will help you. I'm breathing, please. What? I'm breathing. Okay, well, I need you to roll on your side so I can so I can lock the cuffs so they don't keep tightening on you. I don't care. I really don't. Are you hurt at all? Huh? Was it these two that are involved or someone else?
I don't know. Clearly it was her because she took off on me.
Yeah. 10-4. Have him come 10:40.
Miss, is this your house? Are you able to sit up? Can you sit up? Can you sit on your butt? Okay, sit up. Catch your breath. Catch your breath. Is there anybody else inside right now? Are you hurt at all, miss? I don't know what's behind that.
Is this your house?
Stand up, please, miss. Stand up, please. Stand up, please. Yeah, I got it. Do not pull away from me. Do you understand? You are under arrest. You are going to comply. You are not going to pull away from me.
49.
Stand here. I do not know what's inside of here.
I don't even know if this is their house or not. So.
Road 28.
Jamal.
Just relax. I can't.
Well, cover court.
Ow! Okay,
Relax.
stand up, okay? Relax. quit resisting, then.
I'll find out.
Yeah, you fucking deal with it. Tell me how you feel on a daily basis, bitch.
What is your name, miss?
I don't have a fucking name.
Okay. Well, you do.
No, I don't.
Stop trying to pull away from me.
My
okay?
hair's in my goddamn mouth,
Relax.
dude.
1043.
Go.
Fuck you, asshole.
Sit down, please. What are we doing here?
While the officer was searching Nicole, she was non-compliant and kicked the officer in the leg.
Stand up.
It's so fucking hot.
I know. So I'm gonna turn to face the car. Do you have anything on you? Do you have anything on you I should know about?
Code 64. Have your 20 back when you're ready.
Hold still. Hold still, please.
Placing back to a Robert J. Ray or a Linda M. Ray.
Hold still,
No,
please.
you're not supposed to be doing this.
Dodge.
Then stop fighting me.
You're a man. You cannot
Tough
fucking
shit.
touch me.
Tough shit. Right
You
now, it's all we
cannot
got.
touch me.
It's all
no,
we got.
You need to get her over here. You cannot touch me.
Stop it.
Stop fucking touching me.
Stop it.
You cannot touch me.
Jenna! Don't you kick me! You're gonna go to the ground again! Get over here!
You fucking dick.
If you kick me, you're gonna go face down into the ground. She's being an ass. I can't search her because she keeps squirming on me.
Yeah, you can't search me. You're right. You're not a female.
Doesn't matter.
Relax. Well, we have to search you. You just added another charge by kicking me, by the way. Well, it's a felony.
I just fucking kill myself.
Shut up. Those aren't locked, double locked at all.
Ow, look. Fucking hurts.
Well, you did this to yourself, dear.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I told you to stop. How many times?
Do not call the fucking cops.
It doesn't matter
Tell
who
them to
called.
show up.
It doesn't matter who called.
It does.
No, it does
It
not.
does. I did not do this. You can't say I did it when I did not do it, dumbass.
You didn't stop. Stop. Okay, now have a seat, please.
Fucking hot in here.
I know that. This is hot after chasing after you, too.
Okay, scoot your feet in. Or is she gonna shut the door?
Let me get some air on you, okay?
Can you get my hair out of my face?
I'm gonna know EMS can come up on scene.
Just
Scoot in,
sit
please, and I'll
right
get the
now.
air on you.
10-4.
Can you get your door?
After interviewing other witnesses, they claimed Nicole tackled the male down to the ground and wouldn't let him leave.
What did you see here?
So, I was sitting in front of my window and they came up to the stop sign and basically she was all over him. He didn't really do anything, but she kept grabbing him, ripped his shirt open.
He's valid. Negative 99.
I
Go
don't
on. No
I'll show
PC.
mine off. Kept jumping on top of him, trying to get him to the ground. They finally did get to the ground, but then came back up and wouldn't let him leave or anything else.
Where did this take place?
Right over here. I don't know whose squad that is.
Okay.
That's all I seen. I didn't know anything else about back here. What happened?
What drew your attention to him?
Well, at first I'm like, are they just screwing around?
Yeah.
Because she was all over him. And,
Okay. She said she was like jumping on his back or something?
10-4. Go disconnect.
Okay.
And then she kept
Last
grabbing at
of
his
Hampton,
throat.
Charles Adam,
like,
Mary,
I'm
Paul,
calling
Tom,
this in.
Ocean, Nora, first of
So,
Nicole.
I mean, I can't
Unknown spelling.
legally use
I believe
my
her date of
radio.
birth
Right.
36
I'm on
23 of
reserve.
01 0623.
Okay.
Alright, so what's your name? Oh, stay in here. What's your name? So what is going on?
Just having a fight, and I wanted some space.
Okay, having a fight with this girl? Who is this?
That's my girlfriend.
That's what?
That's my girlfriend.
Just stand by with it. What's her name?
Nicole Campton.
Nicole Kim?
Campton. CAMPTON. O-N.
What was going on?
I tried. A fight started in the house.
Okay.
I wanted to leave. She sat in front of the door. I said I would just go out the window. So we were ring around the rosy between the door and the window. Came out to the garage.
How'd you get out the door or the window? Yeah. Did you get out the door or the window?
I got out the door.
Okay.
She eventually just opened the door and let me go out.
Okay.
I went out into the garage. I opened the door. I was going to go leave. I was just grabbing my cigarettes and stuff. She came out, started reaching in my pockets as if she was going to grab something. I just didn't want her to do that. I tried to leave. She kept following me. And I just wanted some space.
No, she's got to also obey the law, so obey our commands. So, what happened when you guys are out here on the street?
She just kept trying to grab my stuff.
Like what stuff?
Whatever's in my pocket, whether it was cigarettes or phone or whatever.
Okay. Did she rip open your shirt or?
That was in the garage.
Okay. Did she hit you at all?
We just pushed each other a little bit. I don't know, I get lost in the moment.
Okay. What was all this about?
Relationships.
Or,
Something as simple as she thinks I'd rather play games than spend time with her. And it escalates from there. Because I'm the person that I want to go to her and I want to talk. And she's the person where when she's angry, she needs a minute. And
Linnea Eason made a call to 911 saying that her 6-year-old daughter was unresponsive. When officers arrived at the complex, they found Jalea Eason in her mother's bedroom unresponsive. This beautiful 6-year-old baby girl had bruises on her wrists and on her torso. The bruises on her wrists indicated that her hands at one point had been bound. Neighbors in the building said that they heard Jalea shortly after 4 a.m. begging for her life. They said that this is something that happened in the past. What is shocking is no one called the cops. When officers arrived at the home, they also found 2 of the children. Present in the home is an 8 and 3-year-old. When questioned, the 8-year-old told authorities that his mom has hit him in the past. One neighbor was so overcome with emotions, she described the young girl as being so sweet and always wanted to give hugs, and she said those are memories that she'll never forget. But there were neighbors that lived directly underneath Jalea that said they heard the beatings often. But still, no one called for help. Bruises were also found on the other 2 children. They were removed and now in the custody of ACS. The most recent report is that the mother was allowed supervised visits with the other 2 children. Jalea, we are so sorry that this happened to you. Neighbors said that they pretty much keep to themselves in the building. Hearing children crying and screaming for their lives, you shouldn't mind your business because you could actually save a child's life. When it comes to children in abusive situations, we need to normalize stepping up and advocating for those children, seeing that they currently, at that moment in time, don't have a voice. The story of Jalea Eason has rocked the community. People are outraged and angry that this happened to this baby girl. To be truthfully honest, I feel Jalea would still be here had someone stepped up. Listen to this video where neighbors admit hearing Jalea's cry for help.
Police say 26-year-old Linnea Eason placed the 911 call that brought officers to the 12th floor of the Forest houses, where they found a 6-year-old unresponsive early Friday morning. The mother claims she was home with her 3 children and woke during the night to find Jalea unconscious with marks on her wrist and torso.
Anyone that lived close enough can hear those kids from time to time.
This neighbor, who lives 1 floor below, questioned that day if the mother was telling the full truth. She described on several occasions hearing children crying, running back and forth. Their screams at times were deafening.
It is said that Linnea Eason had 2 prior ACS cases involving her 8-year-old son. It is said that officers visited the home twice in the past, but it wasn't specified what for.
Anybody who's a mom who has kids is heartbreaking.
Paramedics rushed Jalaiah to the hospital, where less than an hour later, she was pronounced dead. Inside the apartment, officers also found an 8-year-old boy and 3-year-old girl. Sources say both had signs of bruising and ligature marks indicating restraints. The 8-year-old told police his mother had hit him in the past.
I'm so heartbroken. This is disgusting. I don't even know her and I'm hurt.
It's just really shocking. Everybody keeps to themselves here.
Now, I am in no way, shape, or form blaming the neighbors for what happened to Jalaiah. I could only imagine how I would feel as a neighbor knowing that I was right there and I did nothing to help. Her mother, Lania Eason, has been charged.
Say the family's apartment was filthy and in disarray. The mother also had 2 prior ACS cases involving the 8-year-old boy. Live from the Morrisania section of the Bronx, Christina Fan, CBS 2 News.
Christina.
So the day after Sheila and Rachel ended Skylar's life, Rachel, the next morning, went to church camp. But what Sheila did is quite literally disgusting. The next day, Skylar's parents were freaking out. They had no idea where she was. And so her mom began to call Skylar's friends and family. And when Skylar's mom called Sheila, Sheila went over to Skylar's house, met with her mom and dad, sat on Skylar's bed, cried with her mother, wondering when Skylar was going to come home. So she ended her life the night prior, then was sitting on Skylar's bed, consoling her mom, telling her that everything was going to be okay and that Skylar would come home and that they would find her. And not only did she do that, but she literally tweeted, and I quote, "We really did go on 3." And that to me just shows how messed up of a person she is. And when Rachel came back from church camp, they continued to put up this whole facade of, oh my gosh, where's our best friend? What happened to her? Where is she? For about 5 months. These girls were full on in the fall when school started, went back to school. They were walking around high school like absolutely nothing. And granted, they were suspects and they were being interrogated throughout the school year. And there were rumors going around Morgantown that they did it, but nothing was ever solidified. But in December of 2012, Rachel had an insane mental breakdown. Then a week later, she called her lawyers and she said, I need to tell you something. And that's when she told the cops that they did it. So this is how the police found out that Sheila and Rachel were the ones that ended Skylar's life. In December 2012, Rachel ended up having a terrible mental breakdown. And then shortly after the new year, she ended up calling her lawyer. She said, I really need to tell you something. Can we go to the police station? We go to the police station and Rachel sits down with the police officers. And the first thing she said when she sat down was, can you pass me a trash can? I think I'm going to be sick. She looked at the police officers and she said, we did it. We, Skylar. Obviously, the police officers were extremely shocked and they were like, wait, what? And then they asked her why they did it. And she literally said, because we didn't want to be friends with her anymore. The whole room, according to a police officer that has spoken about this on national TV, he said that they all were just in complete shock and disbelief. They all got into the police car and they asked Rachel to show them where Skylar's body was. And they ended up driving to where everything happened the night of July 5th. And Rachel showed them exactly where she was, and barely anything was there because her body was just disintegrating for 6 months. Brought in people to do DNA tests and everything, and then obviously they told Skylar's parents. And I remember hearing this when this all came out, but I can't even begin to fathom how her poor parents must have felt. They ended up arresting both Rachel and Sheila, and they ended up having a trial sometime after that. They both pled guilty, and Rachel showed way more emotion than Sheila did. Sheila didn't even look like, if you watched the trial, Sheila didn't even look remorseful, not one bit. Sheila got life in prison with eligibility for parole after 15 years, and because Rachel confessed, she got 15 years in prison with eligibility for parole after 10 years, which actually ended up being like a month ago. She was denied parole, thank the good Lord, but she still was gonna get out in 5 years. And it's so crazy because the entire time throughout their trials, they both stuck to the same story, that the reason they ended Skylar's life was because that they didn't want to be friends anymore. But about a month ago, Rachel, when she was eligible for parole, confessed the real reason why they ended her life, and it's just insane.
Breaking news, they've released a new angle of the same video of Cameron Robbins. Here's a comparison of the two videos. Authorities have declared him lost at sea and say they do not believe he came in contact with any marine life. I'll keep you guys updated. What do you think? Drop in the comments.
Is there a serial killer in the vicinity of Portland, Oregon? Maybe. Between February and May, 6 women under the age of 40 have been murdered and dumped in a wooded area. They're all within 100 miles of one another. All white females. The police have released next to nothing on the circumstances. One, they say the cause of death was blunt force trauma. My takeaway is not necessarily what they're saying, it's what they're not saying. It means they think the cases could be connected. And if you think you got a serial killer, you want the experts, the FBI. And no information coming out is a hallmark of the FBI. Without more information about the circumstances of the cases, best guess right now is a white male between the ages of 35 and 50. He lives in that area. And he's leaving the bodies where they can be found, because he wants them found. And sometimes that means they feel bad for the victim. But without any other details, that's about the best I can do. Oddly, Oregon has had some pretty big serial killers. The I-5 bandit, he started out being a flasher and a peeping Tom, which is one of the reasons I always say don't give peeping Toms a pass. They could be leveling up. The Green River Killer, DNA eventually caught him. He pled guilty to 49 murders, but he's claimed he's killed around 80. Bobby Jack Fowler was a roofer. He's suspected of 16 murders, but he died of cancer in jail. Dayton Rogers, he would cut women's feet off before he murdered them. And lastly, Keith Jesperson, dubbed the Happy Face Killer, because the letters he sent to the press would have a happy face drawn on them. The cops on this case are going to be absolutely sure before they make some kind of announcement. They for sure don't want to cause a panic, or tip their hand to the bad guy. But I'm more worried about your safety. Take some extra precautions if you live in that area. At the minimum, have pepper spray and a personal alarm on your person at all times. I have some in my Amazon store if you need to pick some up. Share your location with someone that you trust. Know how to activate the SOS alert on your phone. Go places in pairs. This is especially true if you do things like rideshare. They're not sharing enough information for me to make a solid call. But as an outsider looking in, I'm not willing to gamble your safety on it. So it is until it's not. Be aware and be safe.
Break with what I've built. We can't go on without you. I hope you feel the same mood. The caption on the main page. I won't be locked in your cage. We can't go on without you. I hope you feel the same mood.